Hello YouTube world, it is Liam the Deaf Doom Metal doing my end of year extravaganza where I talk about literally nothing to do with music, and this is more about other people's YouTube channels. So I was thinking, because it's the end of the year, I didn't really know what to put out, and I didn't really want to do a collection update or anything like that, or what I got for Christmas or any of that kind of thing. It's just not me. I didn't really actually get anything anyway worth talking about. And I thought what would be a really cool idea, as it's the end of the year nearly, and when this video goes out I'll probably put it on New Year's Eve, maybe the day before, I'm not sure yet. But I thought I'd recommend other people's YouTube channels that I watch regularly, people who support my channel, all that kind of thing, because at the end of the day this channel wouldn't really exist without these kind of people, because I won't ever brag and say my channel's really great, you only come to watch me, blah blah blah. It's not true. A lot of people that watch my videos are probably already YouTube guys and girls. And the people that comment on these videos are probably people that have already found my channel through other channels. So this is basically a thank you to these guys and giving back to them, as it were, because like I say, this channel, I mean, I'm already at nearly 370 subscribers, and that is nothing to do with me. I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's more to do with the people that have recommended my channel, supported my stuff, and you know, and share an interest in the kind of music I talk about. So basically this is a thank you to everyone. And if I've missed anyone off, I'm really sorry, I'm an arsehole, but I've done a good list here of two, you know, different kind of shout outs I want to do. And hopefully, if anyone does discover anything new, what I'd like you to do is comment on their videos and say, I found this channel through my channel, and that's my way of saying thank you to those guys, and them knowing that this video has helped them only a little bit, maybe, if they need it. Because there's a few channels on here that have got hardly any subscribers, and I think they should have more. And then there's a few channels on here that have got loads of subscribers, and they probably need more as well, so why not, yeah? Okay, so cheers to everyone first. I'm on the sauce, so yeah. Anyway, if you can't hear in the background, this is my first shout out. So this is all about a band called Unnatural, and the guy behind this channel is none other than Ken from Ken's Death Metal Crypt, an absolute legend in the YouTube community. If you're a fan of death metal and all the kind of underground, nasty kind of music that I listen to, and a few others. So Ken has been doing this for nearly 10 years, I think, maybe a little bit longer, or maybe a little bit less, I'm not sure, but he's now at 10,000 subscribers, and rightfully so. His channel is stellar. So he used to do old school death metal demos and just upload them onto YouTube, and you could watch them, and I used to love that. I discovered so many new bands, but he only used to do Americans, so it was more, you kind of found a style that you'd like, and you kind of use those videos, and you could make a playlist. And when I was a premium YouTube subscriber, I used to use his like albums he put on there as a playlist and that kind of thing. So he actually sent me this CD in the post, and I'm actually mentioned in the thank you notes for this. It's like a selection of demos of his band, and that's him on vocals if you can't hear it. And it's just fucking awesome. And I was trying to buy this, and I know you can now get it in Europe through Cavernous Records. But yeah, I'm very, very proud to be featured on this. The only other CD is my own band, so it's quite cool to be featured on another CD. So Ken, thank you very much. And if you're new to Ken's channel, go check it out. I'll obviously put links all below, and I'll put subtitles to the name of their YouTube channels along here, so you can find their stuff as we go on. But I'm very, very proud of this, so thank you, Ken. And he's even put a thank you note, which I've got on the wall there, for the family to check out, because it's quite cool, because my kids were quite proud of it as well. For, you know, they don't know what it is, but when they're older they might understand. So yeah, go check out Ken. You know, Uncle Ben, Uncle Ken, you know, what more can you go? You've got Rice and you've got Death Metal. So another guy I need to thank is none other than Mark G, guitarist for Enchantment, Death Doom band here in the UK, and the main reason I even do YouTube videos. So when I used to watch shitloads of channels back in the day, this year I started watching a lot more of the vinyl kind of stuff, because I wanted to get back into collecting, and his channel was one that kept popping up because he was showing the stuff I like, and I'd start commenting on his videos, and I found out he was a guitarist from Enchantment. I've been listening to them for, you know, a number of years, because it's the kind of style of music I like. So I struck up a friendship with him, and then he just basically said to me, why don't you do your own YouTube videos? And being the apprehensive kind of guy I was like, nah, no one will ever watch me. But then I thought about it, and then I watched a few people on there, and I was like, well, if they can do it, then surely I can do it, because it's not that difficult. I mean, there's a certain style of channel that kind of goes above what I do, and a few people on this list do that. But you know, just to shove a phone on, record, you know, anyone can do that. It's just being able to talk to the camera. So I have to thank you, Mark, big time, because he's helped me with loads. He's even sent me Enchantment CDs, VCLT of other CDs, and you know, really lovely bloke, and one probably already people that watch my channel already know about because he's a top bloke. So yeah, Mark, thank you. So next on my list is Mr. Andy Cloudy Marder, the dude from up north, who is a supporter of my channel, and I have no idea why, because he's not a fan of Doom as such, the style I like anyway. But he's a lovely bloke, and is always commenting on videos, and he'll try and get into other bands that he's not familiar with. And he's a big supporter of the vinyl community, and every of the smaller channels that people put out, you can see his comments will always appear in the list. And he's always showing really cool, obscure 80s bands that I've never heard of. And I do like my traditional metal, and I do like my new wave of British heavy metal and all that kind of style. It's not something I always listen to, but it is a style I'm quite a fan of when I'm in the mood, and normally when I'm driving, that's the kind of style I'll go for as well. So I'm always using his channel to check out new music. And this year he recommended to me a band, and actually sent me the LP of a death doom band from Finland that I've never heard of, called Tomb of Finland. And it came from Cloudy, so you know, never ever would have thought someone like him would have sent me an album like that, and I absolutely love that album. So thank you, Cloudy. Have a good new year. Then we go over to Australia for Mr. Brendan Von Doom. Top bloke again, big supporter of the vinyl community and YouTube videos of this style. He's always commenting on other people's videos. He's a thrash guy at heart, but he likes his hair metal, always sleaze metal, and has coined the phrase minty fresh, which everybody loves. And he's another bloke, again, who's very supportive of my channel and always wants to try new stuff, and he's willing to listen and talk to people that listen to music that he's totally not familiar with, but he'll give it a try, and he's slowly getting into death metal, which is fucking awesome. Because thrash metal and death metal to me are very similar anyway. I mean, there's obviously some big differences in the style, but they very much cross over very nicely. So yeah, thank you, Brendan. Have a good new year. And then we have Mark at Wandering Souls over in Holland. Nice bloke, really friendly, massive knowledge of music. He's got a crazy knowledge of underground bands. He's into black metal, death metal, doom metal, thrash metal, you name it, Mark's covered it on his channel. And he's one I was instantly drawn to because he was showing the extreme stuff that I like. You know, he's like me, just a phone, nothing fancy, straight to the point. He's got a wicked collection, and he also brought my band merch this year as well and supported my band, so you know, what's not to like there. So go and check his channel out. Thank you, Mark. Have a good new year. Then the Angry Northerner, Mr. Metal Mickey himself, a channel that I discovered by accident really, because I was watching one of his Metal Hammer flick-throughs, and I thought, oh, look at this poor old man, you know, reading his Metal Hammer from back in the day, still clinching on to those heyday of metal. But when I watched his channel more and more, I actually learned he actually has a wider knowledge of metal than, you know, I ever thought. I mean, I just had him down as maybe your typical Iron Maiden fan, and that was it, you know. But he's got a wicked sense of humour, and his collection is, you know, very varied. I mean, he's got me into a few black metal bands this year and death metal bands, and he's showing some stuff that I would never, hands down, would have thought he would have shown. And he's lived up to his reputation as being a bit of a wild man here on YouTube, and I love that, because real people on YouTube are what draw people in. You know, you can kind of script your videos and kind of pretend to know what you're talking about to a point, like I do, but he's very precise, and he can like remember instantly like a memory of a certain band, because he's obviously lived through the period of most of the bands that started out, and he's a top bloke. So cheers, Mike, have a good new year. And then we've got Matt over at the Accusation Network in the States. He's a guy that I got into because his channel was very flush, very precise, very well edited, and it was like almost watching like a TV show. So if you like remember the metal shows back in the day, you could easily picture his YouTube channel being a TV series easily, because it's just very well edited, very to the point, very informative. And then he did my 10 metal questions, and he featured me on it, and he did my questions, which was amazing, because I would have thought, why on earth would he like my questions? And such a small channel at the time. He really did help my channel grow, so I've got total admiration for him and what he does, because he really helped me, and his content's killer. He always shows really good records, always doing new subjects that are really interesting, and it's always fresh. And you hope he won't mind me saying this, but for an older dude, he's got a great sense of humour, and his music knowledge is very varied. I mean, he's got his style that he likes, but he also branches out into newer things, so that's awesome. So have a good New Year, Matt, if you watch this. And then we have Dave over at Metal of Honor, another friend of Matt's who I got to know because he did the 10 questions as well, and he was a very similar style to Matt's channel. He also does a lot of news stuff. He's got a wicked sense of humour again. I believe he's a tattoo artist in real life. He's also a photographer and does art and paintings and all sorts of cool stuff like that. Really interesting bloke, and he's also recommended me quite a few bands this year. And I got to know him because he was talking about my channel, and he messaged me to say, oh, I featured your channel on mine, and I kind of got to know him. We're friends on Facebook now, and he's a really lovely bloke. So have a good New Year, and yeah, good on you, Dave. So what's next? Thomas at Merciful Metal. So Thomas was another channel I discovered this year on his old channel, because he had a gaming channel, but obviously with the recommendations on YouTube it will show you stuff you might be interested in, and he was showing some vinyl because he was coming towards the end of his gaming phase, and he wanted to kind of branch out and talk about his real passion, which is music. And then ever since then he's kind of disregarded the old gaming stuff and started a new channel, so go and subscribe if you don't. But he shows really obscure metal that for a guy of his age, I mean, he's got a good 5 years on me, being younger than me. I think he said he was 25, so I'm 32 in February, so he's a fair bit younger than me. But he shows bands that are like at least 20 years older than me. I mean, it's crazy what this kind of stuff he's showing. Really good collection of new wave, of British heavy metal, classic metal, power metal, thrash. And he goes to countries you never would think of, like Russia and stuff like that, like I do, but mine's all deaf and doom. I know what I'm talking about, whereas his are all over the place. So the channel worth checking out, and he's a lovely bloke, so go check out Thomas. Have a good New Year. And then the Godfather, Darcy 6 String 9 Lives over in Canada. His channel is a big channel, and he's a guy who talks about all the classic stuff, but he also branches out into newer stuff. And another guy that I would assume would never talk about, but he's a fan of Gate Creeper and all that kind of thrashy death stuff. He likes that a lot, and he's also got death metal stuff. And again, another channel that I'm really interested in, because he shows bands that I would never know of. And he has a wicked vinyl collection, and he's always showing cool stuff. Really polite, really nice and friendly, and very welcoming as well. So if you've not checked out Darcy's channel, which I'm assuming everyone has, go check that out. So have a good New Year, Darcy. And another guy who I got to know because of Mark, that's Jürgen. He doesn't really do that many YouTube videos these days because he has a personal life that's way more important, as we should all do. But his record collection is insane, and that was the main reason that drew me to his channel. Just the sheer amount of obscure stuff, and it's all original OG presses. He's lived through it all. He's been to so many gigs. He's in a thrash band. He knows the music scene really well. He's lived it. And he's a really friendly bloke, and I've been emailing him. He's a very welcoming guy, and yeah, can't recommend him enough. So go check out Jürgen. Have a good New Year if you see this video, mate. I hope you're well. Then we've got Mike at Black Sheep Requiem, new channel, probably a couple months old, maybe a little bit older than that. He added me on Facebook a while ago, and then said he was going to do a YouTube channel, which intrigued me because I didn't really know who he was, but I knew he obviously was into death metal and that kind of thing, so I could kind of gauge that from his Facebook pictures. And then he did his first video, and it was instant hit for me because he's showing all the stuff I love. Really lovely bloke, really welcoming, really supportive of everyone else's channels, and he's showing all the stuff I love, which is great. He's a proper fan of old school thrash, death, doom, everything is covered on his channel, and he's always wearing long sleeve shirts that I want. So go check out Mike, and have a good New Year, Mike, if you see this video. And we've got Dennis at Analogue Archives. Love Dennis's channel. Really nice bloke. He did my 10 metal questions, but also I was watching it way before he even did that. He was doing stuff that really intrigued me because he's into the proper old school death metal, old school thrash. He's even got a bit of old school hip hop in there, which I actually quite like as well. I would never know anything about it. I used to listen to Dr. Dre back in the day, but other than that, I like the sound, but I couldn't tell you any rap artists or anything like that. But really good channel, really blunt, to the point, real. He's lived it, he knows what he's talking about, so go check out Dennis. Have a good New Year, mate, if you see this. Gus69 over in Brazil, really cool guy. He's been doing it again 10 years plus with his other channel, which is all in Brazilian or Portuguese. and he's a real supporter of the underground, especially his home country, where he promotes all the bands from Brazil, and he's shown me so much new music. It's unreal. Like Helllight is a band I've followed for years from Brazil, and he's kind of mentioned other ones, and I've kind of checked them out and got into it from there. And yeah, really nice bloke, always talking about the community very highly, and he's very welcoming to other channels. And yeah, have a good New Year, Gus, if you see this video. And then two chaps who are new to the YouTube scene like me, but you know, a few months ahead of me. Ben and Brandon over at Metal Forge Reviews started their channel this year, and it's already at 1,000 subscribers, and it's easy to see why. Really well edited channel. They're doing all sorts of cool content, kind of like Matt over at the Vinyl Axation Network, where it's all done into a series, and you could always picture it as a TV series. They've got loads of cool content. They're Death Doom kind of guys as well. They're in not Death Doom bands, melodic doom, that kind of thing. So they're also musicians, and Brandon was in Marrowfield, who was in my top 10 this year. He's the mix and master engineer behind it, guitar player in the band. And yeah, all round brilliant channel, really nice guys. Ben I speak to on Instagram now and again about music. He recommends bands to me, and I do vice versa. And they're just really nice guys. So have a good New Year, guys, if you see this. And then we got my favourite Swede, Daniel over at the Final Hazard channel. Daniel's a really, really nice bloke, really welcoming. His collection is very varied as well. He's into his death metal, his doom metal, but more his black metal and his thrash. And he's got a very varied collection. So when you watch his videos, especially when he does his collection updates, you kind of never know what you're going to see. You can kind of guess, but I love channels where you can't really predict what they're going to show. You know, they've got an open mind to music. And he's a great guy to talk to. He even checked out my Consecration demos when I asked for people to kind of listen to it and see what they thought. And he was someone that gave me a very thorough review of it, which I'm very grateful for. So Daniel, have a good New Year if you see this video, mate. And then we've got James over at Stormwind _79, another Aussie who I believe lives in Thailand. I'm not sure if he lives there permanently or he's on holiday, because he's always posting Facebook pictures of him doing some really cool shit all the time. But again, a really welcoming dude, lovely bloke, always showing more black metal but also obscure stuff that I've never heard of. He's very proud of his metal collection, and he's always introducing me to new bands. He did a video about obscure Aussie bands not too long ago, which was really cool to see, because Brendan Von Doom is the only guy I know from Australia that would really show obscure bands from that kind of area, because he's also a big promoter of his local scene. But James is another guy who's got a vast knowledge of bands and an insane collection, so go check his channel out if you're not, and if you do see this, James, have a good New Year. And then we've got Rick over at the Dreadful Minutes, another newish channel to me. He's always doing streams, and I think the last time I saw one of his streams it was 8 hours long, which is insane. So I don't know what the hell that was about, but I kind of caught the tail end of it. But that was like 10 o'clock in the morning here in the UK, so fuck knows how long he'd been online to do that kind of thing. But he's another guy that's got a really wicked collection, very thorough on his videos, very thorough, which might put a few people off, but I love it, because the more thorough, the easier it is for me to pick up on bands I like. And he's like, if I show an album, I'm pretty sure Rick's already got it or knows about it anyway, because he's a bit of a music nerd like myself. So have a good New Year, Rick, if you see this. And yeah, that is the main shout outs, as it were, of people that kind of comment on my channel regularly and channels I watch. But I also wanted to do a list here of channels I watch myself. You know, they might not even follow my channel, but they're kind of people I follow on YouTube that I think you guys might enjoy. And it's also just a thank you to them for like the content they put out throughout the year. So we've got Marty Worm, American dude, runs Bind Ring Recordings in the States. Massive knowledge on metal, black metal. He's also in a death metal band, I believe. It's based after a Gorefest song, the band name, so I can't remember. The Glorious End, I think it is. But he's a lovely bloke, really great channel, always putting out really interesting topics, and he's also another very blunt dude that speaks openly about his music, so go check him out. Matt of the Dark Path, another channel I watch always. Does put out some long videos, but well worth it. Always talks about the great stuff, and his older video really helped me get into that band a lot more, because I got into the new album this year, which was my top 2, number 2 even on my top 10 albums of the year, and that video really helped me discover that band more in depth, so thank you, Matt. Aussie Jamie Horsley, his channel's hilarious. I think he just reached 7,000 subscribers, so well done, mate. He's probably one of the angriest guys on YouTube, bar Mike over at Metal Mickey channel, that I've ever seen. Very, very passionate, very, very blunt, like very blunt. I'm amazed he doesn't edit half the shit he comes out with, because it's hilarious. Just very to the point. His channel's all over the place, which I like. You know, it's one genre to the next. You know, it's never the same. And a lot of people don't like that. I don't really understand why, because if you want variety in your music and you want to kind of get into more bands, surely you'd want someone to talk about different genres, not just one. I mean, I know he used to do reaction videos, which I never really watched because that's not really my thing. But he's very blunt, and even though he doesn't really like Mind, Eye and Blind new album as much as I do, he's an alright dude. So have a good New Year, Jamie, if you see this. Horse of Unreason, a channel that I used to find really random and really hilarious, but I've got to speak to him a lot more, and he's a really cool dude. Wicked taste in music, black metal, thrash metal, death metal. I mean, he wears a horse head mask. I've got one here somewhere that I could put on, but I'm not going to bother. And he did sim videos without it, but I prefer it with them on, to be fair. It adds to the mystique. So give him a few more subs if you've never checked out his channel before, because he's got a wicked taste in music, and he's always showing obscure stuff that I've never heard of before, and it's all relevant. So go check him out and have a good New Year, mate. Pat over at Ground Zero Salem, always watch his videos. He's always showing a variety of different styles. You know, very, very knowledgeable in his music, and a channel I always check out if I have the time. Adam Schnellerback, I think it's pronounced. I'll put a link down below because some of these channels are really hard to pronounce. He's another dude that shows really underground death metal, thrash metal, doom metal. It's very underground, none of the mainstream stuff. He's a guy that if I watch his videos it costs me money, because he's always showing stuff I like. So if you kind of like the stuff I'm showing on my channel, go check his out, because he shows it in far more depth than I do, and it's always tape versions, and he's always talking to the bands directly, and yeah, really cool dude. So go check his channel out. Mr. Boulder here in the UK, another dude is new to YouTube, but a really friendly bloke, very welcoming, really active member of the vinyl community, and a really nice bloke. Again, another varied channel and styles. You can get death metal one day, thrash metal, bit of hair metal, you know, really obscure stuff, and then really mainstream stuff as well. You know, he doesn't really have a genre he goes to in his videos. It's all, you know, a wide mixture of stuff. So have a good New Year, mate, if you see this. Jeff over at Metal Madness 66, his channel is fairly new, and he's a real natural at it. He does these videos where he'll talk about certain box sets he owns and a collection of certain bands. He did a metal t-shirt thing. He did say he based it off mine, but his is way more interesting than mine. And he shows all his tour t-shirts from all different bands he has. You know, it's a 3-part series, so you can tell he's got a wicked collection of band t-shirts. And a natural in front of the camera. I know he participates in a lot of the live streams over in the States with a few other guys. And yeah, lovely bloke. So have a good New Year, mate, if you see this. And then another new one that was recommended to me was Chromiumoxide Radio, an insane channel which is probably the best edited channel I've ever seen. It's like watching MTV2 at 11 o'clock at night, you know, it's, well, back then anyway, when it was cool. It's just a weird YouTube channel that's done to the point where it's someone obviously has edited it, but it's like watching a TV series that's done by a whole TV crew. It's insane how good it is, and you have to watch it if you don't know what I'm talking about, because it's insanely talented how he's edited it. The content's really relevant, like he's got band musicians from like well-known bands on there, but they're edited in like to a TV or something like that. It's just fucking incredible. So go check it out. I'll leave a link below to all these, so do check that one out. Death Light Reviews, another channel that I watch regularly. The dude's always showing quality bands that I always listen to, and also obscure stuff. He did my 10 metal questions. I can't remember his name now, I didn't write it down, so I do apologise, mate. But if you do see this, have a good New Year. And yeah, another channel people should be checking out. The Music Vault, I can't remember the guy's name either, but another guy that's showing stuff that I absolutely love. Really good, you know, all-round bands and stuff like that. So another channel to recommend. Fozzy at Vinylmania, you know, Fozzy's a great bloke. Just stands there and shows vinyl, you know, in front of a window. And yeah, it's always to the point. Really welcoming dude. I don't know where he's from though. I think it's Sweden, but I could be wrong. But he's got a wicked collection as well. He's another channel I watch, and I'll always find something new to check out. So have a good New Year, Fozzy. Lonnie at Classy Lonnie Metal, another channel I watch regularly. Always showing pretty much all the stuff I listen to, really. Always collecting CDs. He's got a wicked CD collection behind him. He's always very thorough in his details. So yeah, have a good New Year, Lonnie. Cassette Mayhem Dan, he hasn't done a few videos for a while, and then did one recently with his top 5 of the year. Really nice bloke from Canada, very thorough in his metal, very much an old school kind of metal guy, but he also shows a lot of newer stuff as well. So have a good New Year, Dan. Raul Serrano, Raul's always commenting on my videos, lovely bloke. He's a lot younger than me, I think he's got 10 years on me. He shows all sorts of stuff. I mean, he's a black metal dude, but he also shows a lot of thrash, traditional metal, does a little few guitar playthroughs. I don't do them because I would just get bombed, you know. I did one for one of my band on here and no one could give a shit about it, and rightfully so, because who cares. So yeah, go check out Raul's channel because it's a lot more interesting than mine. So yeah, have a good New Year, Raul. Todd Guy, the Thrashing Zombie. Todd's a funny bloke, he's always showing really random stuff, and I'm proud to say he actually mentioned me as a reason he's been checking out a lot of these cavernous death metal bands that I used to call them, like your Tomb Mold, Necrovol, all those kind of styles of death metal where it's really reverby and low in the mix. So I'm proud to say that I got him into those kind of bands, maybe. So have a good New Year, Todd, if you see this video. Who is next? Aaron Mother Alamar, or Mare, sorry mate if I butchered your channel. Another dude that's got a massive collection. I discovered his channel when he kind of brought a 200 odd LPs from someone, and his wife gave him permission to buy that, which is insane because mine would never do that. And he's got a wicked collection. He does all these kind of channels based off certain years. He shows metal, rock, all in between, you know, you never know what you're going to get. I normally watch his heavier stuff that he shows because the rock stuff kind of passes me by. But a really nice bloke, so go check him out. Have a good New Year, Aaron, if he sees this. Who's next? Vendal's Metal and Stuff is a channel that just literally shows a turntable and an album playing. I always watch them because there's loads of albums on there that I, you know, check out using his YouTube channel, because like you could have Spotify, but a lot of bands don't appear on Spotify. So YouTube channels like that, and kind of like Ken's channel with the demos and stuff, you know, you can use them as a way of discovering new bands. And you go on Discogs, your eBays, and then try and find those albums if you really like them. So have a good New Year. Trevor Hickey, another dude who's really angry sometimes and is very passionate on his videos, very to the point. He hasn't flipped his camera around yet, so every time I watch his videos his t-shirts are inside out, or the wrong way round even, so I hope he changes that one day, because that does bug me a lot, but not to not watch his videos. So if you watch this, Trevor, sort it out. But lovely bloke, really passionate about music. I think he's a singer in a band. He was a bass player, but he's now a singer in his band he's in. I think it's like a thrash death metal kind of thing, but I'm not 100% sure. So go check Trevor out, he's a lovely bloke. Have a good New Year, mate, if you see this. Fucking love this demo. Azak's Abyss, another channel that I watch regularly where he does videos. Did a Binding Recordings collection update not too long ago. Lovely bloke, did my 10 metal questions, and very thorough with his collection. A lot of black metal and a lot of stuff that's really dark and nasty, which I really like. So have a good New Year, mate. Who are we next? Explosive Action, Simon. His channel's amazing. I don't think he follows me, and you know, why would he? It's not that interesting, but he's a wicked channel. He's always showing stuff I want or have, and very thorough in his collection update notes, and he's got a wicked DVD collection behind him all the time. And he's just a channel, and his intros are probably the best on YouTube for me. They always make me laugh. And then you watch his video and he's very blunt, very, very quiet. It's really good. So yeah, go check him out. Have a good New Year, mate, if you see this, which you probably won't, but there you go. The Rock Scout Scott, another guy who I watched through Contacting Blood, and I've got to know him a little bit. Top bloke, proper into his hard rock and metal and, you know, the 80s kind of stuff. He's not really a death metal guy, and you know, rightfully so. If you're not into it, you know, you don't have to pretend you are. But he's got a wicked collection. I think he's a big Motley Crue fan as well. So have a good New Year, Scott, if you see this. Paul Devoto, another channel that should have some more subs. Lovely bloke, very blunt, very raw YouTube channel, not edited or anything like that. It just comes from the heart, straight off recorded. You know, very passionate about his 80s power metal and that kind of thing. And an all-round nice bloke. So have a good New Year, mate, if you see this. Brian Arkham is a new channel I discovered not too long ago through Rick. again, another channel I really enjoy because it's showing stuff I like. So, you know, instantly I'm going to be drawn to it. Really down to earth. And yeah, Brian's got a wicked taste in music. So have a good new year, Brian. Full Metal Ginger, another guy who's been doing it a long while. And his new video he put up recently is very varied, showing a bit of guitar playing, you know, a bit of music talking and stuff like that, being out and about, keeping it fresh. So have a good new year, mate, if you see this. Brain Smasher, another channel. I don't think he follows me, but if he does, have a good new year, mate, because his channel's awesome, always showing cool stuff. I mean, as autumn kicked in, he did his, you know, doom metal bands to bring in the season. And I absolutely loved that mini-series. It was really, really cool. A lot of the bands I already knew of, but there was a few that I discovered that were quite new to me, so it was really nice to check out new bands there. And then we've got The Grey Man. I mean, his channel's all over the place at the moment. He's putting content out left, right and centre of all sorts of stuff. He got Poem in a Day, which is nothing that I would be into, but he does all sorts really, comic book stuff, goes out for a walk now and again. So yeah, have a good new year, mate, and I hope your channel does well, because it is very varied. So, you know, he has a lot of comments from all sorts of different people, like music people, comic guys, you know, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, have a good new year, mate. Kelly T's Black Metal Reviews. She's an Aussie bird who is very, very thorough in her black metal reviews. Like, she knows her shit. You know, you look at her and think, she don't know what she's talking about. She really does. And her channel is very thorough, and you know, she gets a lot of weird comments from some people, but she's very, very good at what she does. Knows all the underground bands, and you know, very, very passionate about her metal, and she's very much part of the scene and is promoting it over in Australia, and she does a great job. So have a good new year, Kelly, if you see this. You probably won't, but yeah, either way. And then Aiden at Heavy Metal Music of Destruction. Aiden I've known for years through his dad. Please go check out his YouTube channel. He's probably the most passionate metalhead I've ever met. He knows everything about metal. He's met loads of musicians at festivals. I mean, you can ask him, have you met so and so, and he probably has met them. And lovely boy. He's a bloke now, he's 18. I've known him since he's before 18, but he's a very passionate metalhead, so go check his YouTube channel out and help him out. He's only got like 20 odd subscribers. He should have way more than that, so go and check him out. Who else? We've got Rene from Spain, Hosper Metal. Love Rene's channel. He's another guy that's very passionate about his music, talks about it in such detail, and he'll do videos from the car when he's waiting for his daughter to finish dance recitals, you know, that kind of thing, which is great. Wicked collection. He has this like little narrow room he sits in, very old school, very analog, you know, which is great. So have a good new year, mate, if you see this. Best Bands Bloodbox, another new YouTube channel that I found out not too long ago. Really, really good stuff. And yeah, go check it out. It's good. I need some more beer. Ron Haggerty's Vinyl Sanctuary. Another guy, you know, he's a Christian, not my kind of thing, but musically he's always showing stuff that I'm into. He's a big Overkill fan, you know, and I love his music stuff. So have a good new year, mate, if you see this. Mostly Metal, another dude that shows stuff I fucking love, always showing underground death metal that I want, black metal that I want. And he always buys the special editions, which pisses me off. So he's always showing up stuff I might have missed on or couldn't get my hands on because of the price. So yeah, have a good new year, mate. Brilliant channel, needs more subs. Metalbenz Chronicles, one of the most passionate men on YouTube. The way he talks about his music, very thorough, very to the point. And again, another great YouTube channel showing some really cool stuff. So have a good new year, mate, if you see this. Dylan at Maze of Torment, another guy who's probably in his early 20s and he's already got a massive collection. It's insane. Fucking tons of albums he shows that I want or know about that I haven't gotten around to getting yet. And yeah, really cool dude. And even though he's quite young, you know, he knows his shit. So go check his channel out. So have a good new year, Dylan. What have we got? Future Ruins, another channel I found out not too long ago. Used to do kind of woodland walks, that kind of thing, but he also shows obscure bands that I like, doom, death, black metal, that kind of thing. So have a good new year, mate. Trez over at Total Metal Rejection, another channel that shows everything I like in metal, and he's probably the reason a few albums have reached my top 40 lists, because he shows albums that are just insane, and he's always got albums I want, or he shows bands I've never heard of that are part of bands I like. You know, all underground, brutal death metal, black metal, doom metal, you know, you name it, he's got it. Flags, merch, you know, you name it, he shows it. So have a good new year, mate, if you see this. Logan Prater, another new YouTube channel that Rick got me into, shows some really cool stuff. Nice bloke, and yeah, have a good new year, mate, and I look forward to watching more of your videos. Jax Be the Ripper. Jax, his channel again is another very varied channel. She shows all sorts of stuff. She's a lovely girl though, and has a really cool channel, so have a good new year if you see this, mate. Hymns of My Wake, another channel I like watching. Obscure metal, extreme metal, that kind of thing. You know, I love it all, so have a good new year, mate, if you see this. Natskog, he's based in Norwich like me. I can't remember his real name though. He did nearly audition for Consecration once upon a time as well, but he probably would never admit that. But yeah, he's got a really cool channel. He's always showing obscure, old school death metal. He's got a wicked collection. You know, he's always pimping the underground. He's in all sorts of bands that he's started himself. You know, I don't know how he does it because I couldn't be asked to do that kind of thing. So yeah, enjoy that and have a good new year, mate. G-Rock, small YouTube channel, but another really good one for, you know, just random record updates. He's always commenting on other people's videos. It might not even be his style, but he supports the vinyl community, and I like that. So have a good new year, mate, if you see this. And then finally, Tainted Lord 87 Tony. I believe he lives in Canada, but sorry if I'm wrong, Tony. But he's another guy. He's always commenting on people's videos. He's everywhere on YouTube, vinyl community videos, on CDs and stuff like that. He's also another dude who's got a very varied collection. I mean, he could show some brutal death metal, then it shows some shite like Nightwish that I wouldn't like, but you know, he's into it, so fair play to the guy. So have a good new year, Tony, if you see this video. And then to round this video off, because it's 36 minutes long, which is ridiculous, but I wanted to kind of mention as many YouTube channels as I could, because you know, I can't just mention a few because it's not fair on everyone else. But a special thanks to the people that comment on my videos. Without them, you know, yeah, you got the guys that have YouTube channels, but there's a lot of people that watch my videos that don't have YouTube channels, and they support my stuff, which is amazing. And you all know who you are because you're obviously hopefully watching this video. Like, my subs have gone up loads recently, and I'm really grateful to everyone who supports my channel and has checked out my stuff recently. But I have to send two big thanks to Gordon, my friend from Ireland, who that's a shit accent, but he sent me some CDs in the post for no reason whatsoever. He just said, can I send you some music? And you know, that's insane for me. You know, anyone who wants to send me stuff for no reason whatsoever is just crazy. I mean, I sent him some Consecration stuff because he's actually into it, so I thought, fuck yeah, you can have some of that. So I rammed that down his throat. So have a good new year, mate, if you see this. And lastly, Harry, who sent me a box a little while ago with t-shirts, patches, CDs, you name it, and which is insane because again, I didn't ask for it. I thought he was trying to sell me it, but he didn't. He wanted me to have it. And apparently he's sending me another box soon, so which is fucking insane. I don't deserve it, but I'm eternally grateful. And if he was into Consecration, I'd fucking send you some merch. So yeah, anyway, that's the end of my video. I hope you all have a great new year. This year has been chronically shit for most people. I mean, I've had some horrible things happen to me. I lost my granddad, couldn't go to the funeral. I mean, he had Alzheimer's, so I wasn't that close to him anymore because he lost his marbles. But again, you know, you can't say goodbye. So my oldest son had an operation. I couldn't go to that because you could only have one parent there. You know, quarantine, isolation, all the sorts of shit you don't want. But the best thing about this year for me is obviously my health, and my children's health. But collecting again, like behind me, I've got a fuck ton more vinyl to listen to. I've got a new record player that was kindly brought for me by my mother-in-law and wife as an early Christmas present back in September to upgrade me from my Fisher-Price record player that I had. And yeah, it's just been a wicked new year musically for me, and I'm eternally grateful to everyone that supports my channel. New year, hopefully you'll see a new Consecration album. There'll be loads more going on there, and hopefully we'll get the label we want, and you'll see, you know, I'm really proud of it, and hopefully you guys can check it out soon. And there'll be more vinyl updates, hopefully some collaborations with said channels I mentioned. I'm looking to try and do some of that next year, and yeah, have a good new year and take care.